Welcome back, guys, to another video on my baseball channel. Today I'm going to be talking about where DJ Lemahieu is going to sign, in my opinion, and from the most educated guesses you can get. I would say LeMahieu's top three options right now are the New York Yankees being his number one, but there's a huge money gap in their negotiations right now. The Toronto Blue Jays and the New York Mets are probably the only other teams that are probably going to pursue him. I think LeMahieu is not worth the $125 million he wants, maybe 75 to 100 at most. So I don't really see him getting 125. I think he's just trying to get teams to bid against themselves and try to get as much money as he can. He's also looking for a 5-year contract when he is 32 years old. Obviously, he won't be able to keep up the same performance levels as he gets older. Maybe he proves me wrong, but most players don't. So I just don't see him being worth the 125 for 5 years. Now, I'm going to look at the three top teams, the Mets, the Blue Jays, and the Yankees, and where he would fit in. I'm going to start here with the New York Mets. So on the New York Mets infield, there's Pete Alonso, Dominic Smith, both first basemen, but they can move Smith to left field. Ahmed Rosario, who they already said they're going to move to third base if Nolan Arenado or another third baseman doesn't work out, because J.D. Davis, they already moved away from third base. He's in the outfield now. So Rosario is either going to play short or third. They have Jeff McNeil, who's a utility man. He can play anywhere on the infield and the outfield, so he's very versatile. They'll be able to move him around wherever they want if they do end up signing LeMahieu. They have a couple of prospects here. So they have a lot of infield depth, so they definitely have space for LeMahieu, and LeMahieu would definitely bat at the top of their lineup. They don't really have anyone at the top of their lineup. They have a really strong middle lineup with Alonso, Smith, Conforto, and McCann, so they don't really have to worry about the middle of the lineup. LeMahieu would fit perfectly in the top of their lineup and in the infield at second base. They have an opening here right now. I don't really know who the New York Mets were looking to as a second baseman this year. I know Robinson Cano isn't going to play this year. He got banned for steroids or some sort of PED use. Jeff McNeil they're probably not going to use as a second baseman, so it'll be interesting to see what the Mets do with the middle of their infield. I think they have a very strong shot at signing LeMahieu. The only if would be if they decide to go with Trevor Bauer or George Springer instead. They could definitely use George Springer, but they already have a pretty filled outfield. It would be hard for them to make a spot for Springer unless they make a trade, which would probably happen. And they might also go for Trevor Bauer, which would really make them have the best starting rotation in the MLB with DeGrom, Bauer, Lugo. Lugo might pitch in the bullpen. Syndergaard just signed a 1-year, $10 million deal today, but he enters free agency next year. Marcus Stroman and who else do they have on David Peterson. So they have a very strong starting rotation. They have a pretty good bullpen. They could probably find some help there, but I think the Mets are definitely a strong suitor unless they choose to sign someone else in free agency. My second team that the LeMahieu would fit really well on is the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, they have Cavan Biggio playing second base right now, but with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Rowdy Tellez splitting time at first base or DH, that leaves third base open, so the Jays would most likely send Cavan Biggio to third base, and that would leave an opening at second base. The Blue Jays are interested in DJ LeMahieu. From what I've heard, they were looking to see a 4-year, $75 million deal. Obviously, LeMahieu wants a lot more than that, but the Jays are probably going to negotiate if George Springer or another big free agent or a big name doesn't happen, like a trade or free agent signing doesn't happen. So I feel like the Blue Jays definitely have the spot open to sign him. They have a really good core of young players as well in the middle of their lineup, so like the New York Mets. So it's really just the top of the lineup where LeMahieu would hit, and that would probably be really good, and it would help a lot of these young hitters' numbers with runners on base a lot. So I think he'd definitely be a really good fit for the Toronto Blue Jays. My third team is the New York Yankees. LeMahieu played for the Yankees last year. I know he was looking for a 5-year, $125. The Yankees offered 4 years, $75. So there's a huge money gap there. Unless one side either the Yankees want to pay more or LeMahieu wants to take less. It's known that LeMahieu, the Yankees and LeMahieu want to reach a contract resolution, and LeMahieu wants to hit in Yankee Stadium. Obviously, his numbers have been really good. Hitting at the short porch, he's really made his swing surrounding the short porch, and he puts up good numbers in Yankee Stadium. So I could definitely see him returning here. If they don't re-sign him, the Yankees would probably have to look somewhere else for a second baseman, because I don't think Tyler Wade is an everyday option. I do see LeMahieu probably landing in New York again. If I feel like he will end up taking less money. I don't think he's really worth 125, and I think he knows that. I think he's just trying to get the Yankees to bid against himself and see how much money he can end up making. I eventually think he will give up, though, the $125 million dream. Either way, I see him going to New York. Maybe 30% chance of him going to Toronto, but I do see him ending up in a Yankees uniform next season. Those are just my opinions. I know there was other teams like the Nationals that were interested, and the Dodgers maybe, but the Dodgers have Gavin Lux at second base coming up, so I don't really see them getting LeMahieu, especially with the trade rumors with Trevor Story and Nolan Arenado, so I don't really see that happening. But those are just my predictions for where LeMahieu is going to land. If you feel differently, please leave a comment down below and let me know where you think DJ Lemahieu is going to land. And thank you for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on this new content coming up on more predictions and actual signing videos. It helps me a lot. See you in the next one.